So there's something I really want to talk about today, and it's just something that's really common that I see where people struggle and they have a hard time losing weight and sticking to the program, and it's because life stress gets really high, right? Like a lot of things are going on, and hey, I get it. Like life is not easy. There's always going to be a lot of different things pulling you in a lot of different directions, and a lot of things that we just can't really control that are going to make our life much more difficult. And what ends up happening is that becomes our reason why we can't do it anymore, why we can't stay on track. You know, your job is way too busy, and your family life is all over the place, and you're being pulled in all different types of directions, and you're getting bad news, and you suffered some bad news, some deaths in the family or whatever else. And it's just a lot of hard stuff happens. And what we think is, well, it's just too much right now. I can't handle also trying to track my food and get into the gym. It's just way too much for me right now. I can't handle it. And while I am absolutely a proponent of not always going hard all the time and understanding that sometimes we do need to back off and that life balance is important, so I'm all about it. And to me, I think balance is often misunderstood. I think a lot of times we look at balance and we think, okay, everything that's important to me is going to be even across the board and gets the same amount of attention. So my family and my training and my friends and my career and everything else that is important to you is going to get equal effort. But that's never going to happen. Sometimes different parts of your life need more attention and sometimes they need less attention. And that's where the balance comes in. So if something's like really crazy going on at your job, yeah, your job gets more focus and maybe your diet and training gets less focus, but it doesn't mean that it's all and nothing, right? That's the trap that we can't fall into. Balance means still paying attention to everything that's important to you, but maybe a little bit less now than you normally do. Not, well, I'm either all in or I'm all out. If I can't be 100% committed, then there's no point. That's the real trap, and that's what we need to get away from. Now, that's kind of getting away from what I really want to talk about today, and that is, I think it would be a much better approach to look at this stuff like when things go sideways in life, when life gets really hard for us, it's almost always because of things that are totally out of our control. There are things that no matter what we do, they are still going to happen, and there's nothing we can do to change that. And it sucks, and I get that, and it's hard, but it's out of your control. So you cannot be so stressed out and allow that worry to totally crush everything. And what I really want to drive home to you today is, in a world that is full of things that are completely out of our control, your training and your nutrition are like the two things in your life that you have complete control over, no matter what. And sometimes you just need to build those wins and have something that you can control. And while I get trying to look at it as, hey, I need to not have so much to focus on right now, it might be better to look at it and say, this is the one thing that I can actually focus on and make a difference with and control, and I'm going to use that to my advantage, and I'm going to build some wins, and I'm going to use that to better my life and feel good about things and build some motivation, build some momentum, and get somewhere. All right, like you're not going to feel better because you completely stop paying attention to what you eat and totally stop going to the gym. That's not going to help you feel better. Yes, you're going to have a little bit more time and a little bit less to focus on, but at the end of the day, it's probably going to make you feel worse. All right, you're not going to have any energy because you're not going to the gym. You're going to end up feeling sad or depressed that your body's kind of starting to fall apart on you, and you're kind of going backwards, and it's in the long run, it just makes you feel worse. So it's like, man, buckle down and focus on this and just do what you can with what you have and build some pride and confidence that will carry over into everything else as well. All right. So this isn't a go hard or go home message. This is control what you can control and build some wins. I know I've said that like 5 times now, but I cannot stress that enough, how important that is and how much of a difference that'll make and how good you feel. You feel so good when you do the things that you know you should do, but you don't feel like it. That's where motivation comes from. Motivation doesn't just fall out of thin air and you get going. Motivation comes from doing. It comes from going after it and doing the things that you need to do when you don't feel like it. That's the total game changer, and you will feel good about it. I promise you, you will not regret it. All right. So yes, maybe you need to back off and be a little bit more flexible. Maybe you need to change up your habits and what you're doing in the gym and with your nutrition. But that doesn't mean screw it, there's no point right now. All right. It's all about balance, and each person's a little bit different and responds a little bit differently, and you have to just really dig deep and understand how you tick and what works better for you. But man, I'm telling you, when you buckle down, it's a game changer. So hope that helps someone out there. Of course, if you have any questions, anything you want to talk about, drop it below, and I will talk to you later.
I'm addicted to the love that you're giving. Every minute, every day I've been craving.